you see how they're fighting third party candidates and forcing them off the ballots. This is the kind of stuff that Democrats wouldn't do. You know, the whole Freedom to Vote Act that everyone was melting down about, that we was warning you guys about. Third parties may disappear from ballot under Freedom to Vote Act. So there's an active war that's being waged against third parties, and I would love to open it up to you guys, and very broadly, like, what do you guys see as a strategy as third party activists to fight against the Democratic Party and the people who want to censor third party and stop them from debating? Because that's gonna be such a giant like hurdle for us to climb. Like as third party activists, like they've been forcing people illegally off the ballot in 2020. So I would talk to. I guess we go Breeze first, and then we go Joe Stein. Do you guys have any response to that?
I am hesitant to talk about third party candidates as kind of tools as opposed to legitimate candidates in and of themselves who should be trying to win. Like, I think I really just want to say that it's not like symbolic voting for me. It's, I would like these people to win. But I also feel like I have to recognize that other people feel differently. They feel like the odds are so extreme that they need other reasons to vote for third party candidates. And if I can offer an argument in the alternative, in addition to
We'd
I
love to
want
hear
them
it.
to win, it's the articulating the benefits to getting candidates that are more able to win because of funding and those things by getting them to 5%. I think for lots of folks, that's a tangible goal that makes them feel like their vote isn't wasted in the ways we described before. But I also think, and obviously this is a drum I've been beating since the summer of 2020, that it is useful to have third parties as a bucket in which people can put their votes, a place for them to pledge their votes, and the alternative to the major parties when they want to express discontent with something that's going on. Because I do think not only at the end of the day, after election day, do votes for third parties get framed differently than people who stay at home. And it's more easy to make the case that you are politicizing your vote and your choice not to vote Democrat and say, this is what I want you to be. I'm not staying home because I'm indifferent to Trump or because I secretly love Trump or something. No, I voted for this candidate that is far to the left of the Democratic Party. But also it's because it helps people feel like they're together as one part of a movement together and not just disparate people who are kind of independently pissed off at Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden. And when I was writing articles about withholding one's vote and the power that could come from that and the lack of power the Black community has because it does vote so faithfully in such a block, an unprecedented block for groups, ethnic groups in the United States, I wish that there were some institution that you could be a part of, that could articulate your preferences in the same way that we used to have more organized labor and politicians would have to court the votes of those kinds of groups. Absent that, because as you know, on my show, I go round and round in circles with people who say, well, the solution to this is organizing. Okay, well, how do we organize? Okay, well, we don't have the union density to be able to organize, and round and round and round. Fine. I agree that we should have labor density and we should be able to do work stoppages and all of those kinds of things. And I will support you day and night in getting us back to that place. In the interim, however, I do think it's useful to think creatively about other kinds of organizational structures that can similarly be courted and votes be delivered. And to the extent that you can do something with a third party like Ralph Nader did, to say, here's a list of 20 demands, do some of these and I won't even run. I'm not saying literally argue that you won't run, but do some of these and we can talk. I have that kind of leverage. And to be able to say, maybe I'm Bernie Sanders and just ran for president and 30% of the Democratic Party is with me. Yeah, I'll drop out sooner rather than later if you concede these things. And the alternative is that I'm going to go ahead and run third party until you actually do make these meaningful concessions, not you're going to have a seat at the table and all of this kind of nonsense.